On December 8, 2013, Coca-Cola Zero was determined to accomplish the impossible. To bring one of the biggest bands on Earth to one of the furthest lands of the planet.
We've come here with beautiful and meaningful intentions and raising awareness around this place that it's something that needs to be preserved and not commercialized.
What all those millions were not able to see is what happened much before their music started to sound. Here starts the story of a journey. The journey towards one of the most challenging ideas in the story of modern music.
Are you with us? We are with you!
It's the last frontier.
If Santa is in the North Pole, Satan is in the South Pole.
I don't know what to expect.
Fans and crew, 30-foot swells, and a couple days on a boat.
Es épico esto que vamos a hacer, nos lo presento más grande en nuestra vida.
El primer beat lleva transformadores, lleva el show.
I can play in my swim shorts.
Who wouldn't want to go and play?
That is completely awesome.
Completely different to what we're used to.
What do you do after this? You know, you play the moon.
Are you ready to make history?
One thing I heard, which I'm really looking forward to, is that it's really still, that there's a quietness, a stillness there that you don't encounter anywhere else in the world.
The beauty in this for me is that I don't know what to expect. But I'd like to just absorb it all, like a sponge, you know, just be able to take it all in and not expect too much. So that way, when I do experience it, it's going to feel incredible.
It's always been our thing to play all the continents of the world. And for us, we want to be able to experience playing music in exotic places. It's a really great experience. I really enjoy that fact, and I really tend to appreciate just the whole situation.
They say that if you can produce a major motion picture, you can pretty much do anything in this world. Is there like another pie-in-the-sky project that you've got looming somewhere in the future that you're thinking about now that you've done the impossible?
I'll tell you that there's a very interesting thing coming our way in December. Nobody knows that. So there's another frontier heading in Metallica's direction in December.
All we can say is December?
Yeah, the fact that I even December, I already I'm like, oh my God, it's my manager calling. He heard what I just said to you on the other line. He's mad.
My son, Castor, loves these Guinness Book of World Record books. I remember as a kid loving those books, seeing the extremities of human, you know, how far you can go and what you can do as a human. And I just thought, how could we get in there, in that book?
Antarctica is one of the most important regions on Earth under strict international protection. Located about 620 miles from the American continent, it is the southern border of our planet. 9 million square miles covered in snow and ice, completely isolated from the rest of the world. Summer temperatures average on a warm day -4 Fahrenheit, and winds can reach up to 186 miles per hour. However, despite being one of the most extreme and inhospitable places on Earth, Antarctica was chosen as the venue to host the most amazing concert ever in rock's history. To get it accomplished, a great team effort was of utmost importance. Argentina's National Direction of the Antarctic offered their tests and studies on the hostile terrain. Such documentation indicated that carrying out the logistics for an event of this nature would turn out to be extremely difficult. To be absolutely respectful of the continent's ecosystem, the energetic and lodging capacities of the scientific base would be off limits to the production of the concert, allowing it to continue its normal operations. Such news made the producers issue their first clear diagnostic of the situation. The concert was practically impossible to be accomplished. At this moment, the thought of hosting a show on the moon perhaps would have been easier. Argentina's National Direction of the Antarctic, however, was convinced about moving forward with an unbreakable plan.
Metallica loves to travel the world, this beautiful world, and get out and hit as many crazy places as possible. And when this came through the email a couple, 3 months ago, it was like, we've been waiting for this. This is what we call in Metallica a no-brainer. Absolutely, let's go.
No-brainer? Complete madness. The team, however, rolled up their sleeves and began to work. More than 50 people from Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, and the United States worked for several months in Buenos Aires, trying to find a solution to every obstacle encountered. The area was again questioned and surveyed, the technical specs and options were re-evaluated, and survival courses were put together. A bad decision in a place like Antarctica could have dire consequences.
Hay muchas variables que no podemos manejar. Y obviamente la climática, por empezar. Puede ser que se nos cruce una tormenta de nieve, puede ser que el viento no permita que el concierto arranque. Sobra aclararlo, pero no es ir a ver un concierto de Metallica al Orange Bowl, ¿no?
One key component to the operation was to determine the exact location of where to place the stage. By recommendation of the authorities, it was determined that such place would be in the area surrounding the heliport. At that moment is when production began to design the show.
There is a danger element that's also pretty exciting. We've been in some pretty cold places, you know, touring Finland in the winter, being up in Winnipeg, Canada during the winter, pretty cold, you know, 20, 30 below, you know, where it's like, there are times when it's illegal to go outside, you know, it's so cold that your ear falls off, you know. I need my ears, by the way.
The only thing that's preventing us, or has been, is the lack of infrastructure in certain places, or that are just not ready yet, or the fact that nobody's invited us.
You know, I can't play in the cold. I have a big problem keeping my fingers warm. So it's going to be interesting how it goes in Antarctica, where it's going to be like 30 below or something.
Five removable domes, adequate for extreme and inhospitable territories such as deserts, high mountains, and icy locations, would be installed. Those structures could protect the band and the audience from the average low temperatures forecasted for the day of the concert. Once on the ground, there would be no margin for error. The authorities from Argentina's National Direction of the Antarctic made it too clear that any detail that could have a negative effect on the environment would be reason enough to cancel the concert. For that reason, the operations manager repeated the mounting and unmounting exercises multiple times before departure.
Hoy se hizo la prueba de domos. Un domo grande que es el escenario, un domo chico es la banda, audio, video control, equipos diversos y un refugio en caso de frío.
Little by little, some of the issues that seemed impossible to solve were given a solution. A key innovation was used to resolve one of the most important aspects, the use of headphones. This way, the band could blast their powerful music without affecting the ecosystem that would be hosting the concert.
But the part of the whole thing, which is in the concert that's influenced by I guess the so-called silent discos or silent raves, I think is really exciting because it's obviously a completely new thing for us. My son went to one of these about a year and a half ago, and when he was trying to describe it to me, I'm sitting there picturing 500 people dancing together with headphones on. You can actually have your own channel of what you're listening to as they're dancing, and it sounded like the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. And hopefully all the people that are listening to us, at least in the live situation, will be all hearing Metallica and not listening to, you know, some other station on Sirius or whatever. Like I was talking about before, it's another set of kind of unknowns, and it's always fun when you can throw yourself out in those type of situations.
All precautions taken, however, didn't seem enough. Nothing guaranteed that the technical equipment would work as expected during transmission. All materials and gear had to be previously tested at extremely low temperatures, and the right place to do that was inside a warehouse freezer. For more than 10 hours, all equipment was tested at -7 Fahrenheit. Miraculously, there were no failures.
Ya no nos da el cerebro, no sabemos en cuántas horas hace que estamos acá adentro. Terminamos la prueba. Por suerte respondieron bien los equipos, sorprendentemente las baterías también.
On the book of James' son, the page of a new world record was starting to be written. Moving the crew and the equipment towards the southernmost part of the world was not an easy task. After ruling out other means of transportation and aware that this option would not be the most pleasant, it was decided to travel by boat, specifically on board the vessel Ortelius. The 300-foot-long ship would be responsible for carrying the gear and the teams to Antarctica by crossing one of the world's most dangerous waters. Upon arrival, it would become a floating hotel for almost a week.
There's been lots of emails from our beloved tour manager. Remember, there's no 24-hour convenience stores. There's no room service. It's like, yes, Dick, we get that part.
We don't know what we're running into as far as, you know, equipment getting there, you know, fans and crew coming across on the boats. What is the crossing of Drake's Passage going to be like? We've seen some pretty scary footage of 30-foot swells.
Before setting sail and facing the challenging Drake Passage, there was one more delicate step to be fulfilled: the loading of cargo. Damage to any piece of equipment, however slight, could jeopardize the completion of the show. After long negotiations, Metallica agreed to reduce by 40% the amount of gear normally used for their tours. Even still, the loading operation lasted close to 20 hours. Everything was in order. Another major obstacle had been overcome. The band's team, the production team, the crew, and a small group of lucky fans were ready to sail on board the Ortelius. Metallica would travel by plane.
You know, when me and my family went in looking for heavy Arctic clothing at the place we went into, you know, and the lady was kind of joking, saying, "Oh, are you guys going to Antarctica?" It's like, "Yeah." It's like, "What?"
An old sailor's saying states that below 40 degrees latitude there is no law, and that below 50 degrees there is no God. The Ortelius sailed, bound for Antarctica. There was no turning back. With 30-foot waves, the Drake Passage is the southernmost route in the world and is also considered one of the most dangerous. Drake was no game. After only a few hours of sailing, the captain confirmed the predictions. Drake was awaiting with one of the worst storms ever recorded in the area. Giant waves were expected, and the captain was analyzing the option of stopping the ship and waiting until conditions improved for the crossing. This could cause a delay of at least 12 hours, so the team had to start thinking about alternative plans.
Salimos con tormenta de Ushuaia y la curva de la tormenta de alguna manera está siguiendo el camino del barco, con lo cual ya teníamos malas condiciones en Drake, puede ser, y están previendo como olas de 7 a 10 metros. Una vez que salimos del canal de Beagle, de la contención de las dos márgenes del canal, estamos a la buena de Dios, digo, probablemente el barco va a parar, y eso provoca que nos demoremos como mínimo 8 a 12 horas.
La opción de pasarlo al 9 es una, si no vamos con tiempo.
Sí, nada más contractualmente yo con Metallica, ellos tienen el derecho de decidir, ¿es el 8 o me voy? Por contrato ellos se presentan el 8.
La opción es hacerla arriba del barco. Es tiempo que ganamos porque no tenemos que descargar el material, armamos toda la estructura en el barco y de ahí...
Sería la última opción, o sea, me parece que tenemos que hablar con la banda. O sea, yo lo pensaría como el último escenario.
No hay otra.
Sí, hay otra, que pasemos nosotros el canal de Drake como sea. Pero bueno, mañana veremos.
A contest launched by Coca-Cola brought 19 fans from different countries to participate in the adventure.
You know, we'll be playing to contest winners who hopefully will be very excited. Anytime that we're in the company of friends from Central and Latin America, everybody's always very fired up.
You know, the contest winners, they have to show what lengths will they go. And I think wanting to go down there and be on a boat for a week would be pretty scary for some people.
Y estamos más o menos a 4 o 6 horas de supuestamente que empieza el movimiento. Sí, sí. Un poquito más parece, ¿eh? Sí, ¿no? 4 de la mañana, 4 o 5 de la mañana. Así que...
Sí, vamos a empezar el día movidito, ¿eh?
El tiempo no nos va a ayudar, me parece, nos han anunciado.
Cuando el barco se va a volcar y las olas gigantes, eso va a pasar.
Eso va a pasar.
Igual yo vi que ya en el baño tiene un buen agarre, se sentan y una hora así.
After several meetings with the captain of the ship, the decision was made to cross the strait in spite of the terrible forecast. 36 hours of storm laid ahead.
pibe me contaba que cuando ven más seguidas, lo que pasa es que a veces el barco se apoya en dos crestas. Claro. Y
con dos crestas así en el aire.
Sí. Y entonces está como volando. Y este barco, entre todo, es un barco chico y está mucho más preparado para eso, pero los cargueros, que son más largos, a veces se parten por la mitad. Pará.
Hay bastantes bajas en el equipo, que están en sus camas, vomitando.
No, mis compañeros de cuarto no tuvieron la misma suerte que yo. Por eso yo no me quiero quedar en mi cuarto, porque siento que hay algo ahí que te atrae. Están mal, tienen pánico al piso, se ve.
verdad fue peor de lo que esperaba. Nunca hubiera esperado una cosa tan horrible. No, vomitaba cada 20 minutos, ya no tenía nada que vomitar.
Estuve todo el día en la cama, me quería levantar para comer, pero así como me levantaba, me subí otra vez a la cama. Ya retrasaron la llegada del barco, así que tenemos que esperar más todavía para llegar, pero bueno, hay que aguantársela, no queda otra.
The Drake was finally left behind, punishing the expedition with 18 hours of delay. To reach Antarctica, Metallica would fly from Oakland, California, in the United States, and make a stop in Punta Arenas, Chile. 2 more hours of flight, and they would reach their final destination. The band, unaware of the storm and all the production issues, was getting closer to its destination. But still, nothing guaranteed that the show could happen.
And playing Antarctica is just one of those sort of situations where I find myself in a very exotic place and I take a step back and go, wow, the only reason why I'm here is because of music.
Getting a chance to go on a Metallica field trip for a weekend with our 25 best friends and a few contest winners, this is the perfect opportunity.
62 hours after its departure from Ushuaia, and after altering its original plan, the Ortelius reached its final destination, Potter Cove, facing the Argentine base Carlini.
I don't have an idea of the power of the imagery that I'm going to experience, and I like that. It's the impact of what it will bring to me in my life.
Welcome to Kinyor, Thailand. We have London when it's 7:45, and the outside temperature is 30 Fahrenheit degrees. On behalf of that, our captain and this entire crew, I want to say goodbye and see you in a few days.
Everywhere else on this planet has been invaded. Seems ironic that a heavy metal band would go down to a place that's so pristine and talk about saving an area and not invading it.
8 hours after the ship's arrival, the plane with the band and the rest of the team landed on the island 25 de Mayo. But there were still potential drawbacks to overcome, and some prayers due for mild weather. Things were beginning to take its course, but still the operations plan had to be revised to make up for the hours lost in crossing the Drake Passage. The threat of a sudden change in the weather was present. A week before, the wind chill had dropped to -22 Fahrenheit, and a windstorm had questioned the date of the show. Upon the team and the band's arrival, the weather was calm. The bad news, however, would come from a different angle. It was time to go down to the ship's hull and check what damages the Drake's crossing had caused to the cargo.
Mirá, Marcelo, vení. Todo este pallet así adentro, caído así, contra esa ficha. Y se rompió el 30% del equipo.
The worst predictions were confirmed. After the storm, 30% of the cargo traveling in the hold of the ship had been damaged.
Uno no domina las variables y bueno, nada, con el clima y la naturaleza sí dominan a uno.
30% of the equipment was inoperative. The heart of the project had received a big blow, and the concert was at risk of being canceled. But the operations manager knew that the plan had to continue despite the drama. There was no time to spare. The madness was bound to go on.
Nosotros no manejamos los Zodiacs, o sea que cuando el capitán diga 40 nudos de velocidad del viento se acabó, no nos va a dejar ni subir, ni bajar, ni hacer nada. Cuando la base decida que es demasiado viento o demasiada nieve o está bajando mucho la temperatura, nos van a meter a donde comen ellos y no tenemos nada que decir y no hay nada que discutir. En caso de que se vuelva muy complicado, domos, herramientas, arandelas, tuercas y se acabó.
Off the coast of the Argentine base Carlini, another critical moment began, offloading the cargo. The delay had forced the offloading of absolutely all the cargo to happen that same day. Nothing else could be damaged. Once again, there was no margin for error. 114 trips on board of Zodiac boats, 3.23 miles each way, carrying the teams and the gear for the show. The slightest distraction could have fatal consequences. Once ashore, trucks and personnel from the base would move the cargo for another 546 yards to the heliport. While the team worked around the clock, Metallica arrived to the bar of the Ortelius. For the first time, the lucky few winners met face to face with the members of the band.
Yeah.
Hey there.
Carla from Mexico.
All right. It's a little small, but don't put your guitars in the dryers, kids. This is what happens.
Very cool. Should I sign that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. What is it? Is it paint?
Paint. Paint. Wow. That's amazing.
Google Maps?
That means that you have to continue being
Music is zero.
in front, please. No sé si se nota en la cámara que estoy temblando, ¿no?
Very crowded.
Thank you, man. Yeah. God bless you. Thank you. You too, brother. Thank you, man.
Cream, sí, cream.
Soy luthier, hago guitarras eléctricas y siempre mi sueño fue hacerle una guitarra a James. Un modelo Explorer, como las que usa él, toda armada de caoba, trastera de palo de rosa, los mismos controles que usa él y las pastillas también. Dios quiera la pueda usar, sería lo más grande para mí, sería el sueño hecho realidad.
Oh, wow. Yeah. All right. All right. Very nice.
¿Puedes parte de la guitarra?
It's okay.
You want me to sign it?
Yeah, thanks.
What is that for? It got ran over? Okay.
Somebody pointed out last night, I don't know if you guys know this, but not only has Metallica actually played all 7 continents now, we've played all 7 continents in 2013. I think that's a kind of a mindfuck. Australia in February, North America in June, Europe in July, Asia in August, Latin America in September, and now the Antarctic in December. 7 continents, 1 year.
So what's the next challenge?
International Space Station.
We're going to become the house band on Richard Branson's intergalactic airplanes.
What do you expect from a small audience in this kind of intimate session?
A small audience and no sound, right?
Yes.
The worst thing is you take your headphones off and it'll sound like a 1-hour drum solo.
It's about time. Yeah, okay. It's been 20 years. Yeah.
It sounds like the penguins going, what the heck is that?
Just remember, we're all in this together. It's not Metallica and the fans and the press and the promoters. It's all of us together having this experiment at the same time. And whatever happens, we'll all be part of sharing that. So I think that's really cool.
The domes were set up amidst an icy atmosphere, running against the clock.
Bien, chicos, qué felicidad, felicidad.
Metallica's crew did their part, making sure no detail was left unattended. The strategic position of each one of the domes was fundamental, so the show could run with no setbacks.
You're going to see Metallica just like really out of their element and really just like trying to make it the best possible Metallica experience under the situation.
What a backdrop, huh? Trujillo's Dome. Anybody want to buy a ticket to the show?
Away from the stage, the band began to enjoy the only continent they had never been to. A new world was unfolding.
South Pole has a lot of answers for the future, I think, of the Earth and where we've been and where we might be going. Getting out in the Zodiac boats and looking and seeing, you get, and it's so quiet. I mean, first of all, it's bizarre. You don't notice that there's really no other boats. When you see another boat come in, it's like, who is that? You know? Aha!
Look at that wave right there, man. Get it, get that wave.
Get that wave. Get that wave, isn't she?
No way.
Thanks for setting that up, you guys. It's awesome. Okay, they're out in the boats. Release the whales.
When you're in a city of 25 million people and then you stand here and encounter the vastness, the silence, and the solitude, it just puts things in perspective.
Well, I mean, we're excited because we're going to learn about that part of the world and the wildlife, and also there's the ecological side to all this. There's a lot of other things that are really important, and that's important for us to share with our fans. We can spread the word, and I think there's a lot of power in that too, with us going down there. Rio de Trujillo.
Oh, sí.
That's the first run-up I've seen.
Good addition to my
I didn't get my calcium.
Dead Things from Around the World on Tour book.
This volcano is not very old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, not so old. Within the last sort of 3 million years or so.
Not very old, only 3 million years.
God, look at Caster.
Hey, Caster, where you going, dude? This is my son. He's looking for Wi-Fi. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
In the timeline of Earth, man has been here for 10 minutes out of a year. So we are small. And just noticing how nature does what nature does. Man or no man.
I mean, there's that layer of powder, but then there's going to be cracks.
Tony,
This is all glacier. So this is all. Look. Woo! Yeah! Woo!
One of the things I like best about this is that it's, I think, one of the largest continents, but no one owns it. It's just Mother Earth, and hopefully it can be preserved and kept that way, where it's not overrun and taken over by man.
Only 24 hours to the show, the team had worked tirelessly at sub-zero temperatures.
Vamos a hacer 11 cámaras, sí, y las 12 son las GoPro. Son las GoPro. 2 dollies, 6. Después 7 grúas y 8 la 8 frontal, exacto. Okay.
The stage was almost ready. The entire event was at stake. The band, the audio system, and the energy supply had to run smoothly. The moment of truth was approaching. Metallica arrived to the site for the first time for sound check.
So we play here?
Yeah.
And then the fans are here?
That's a decision that's not been made, but Dan mentioned that you want people in.
Where else would they be?
They could be outside, and we can take this off if you like.
Oh, I see.
This is Diego Alvarez.
Nice to see you. How are you?
I see you there yesterday.
Well, I think one thing that would be really cool, at least to me, would be if there's no, to me, the spirit of this is we're all in this together. Okay. So it's not the band and everybody else.
Just
so I think it would be great if there was no division between the band and the audience. So it's not like there's a line or a piece of rope or something.
They're all mingling between. Well,
yeah, I don't know if mingling, but it's just we're playing and everybody's being respectful rather than a rope or some sort of division.
And also maybe if we're having this nice weather tomorrow and you would like that, you can take these off.
Yeah, you know.
I can play in my swim shorts.
Yeah.
I bought my swim shorts just in case.
Interesting part to the concert, you know, which is the fact that there will be no PA, there will be no amplified sound. We want to be respectful to the environment and to all our cohabitants down there, especially the penguins live next door. Everybody's wearing headphones, and everybody will have the sound transmitted through headphones, but there will be no sound traveling.
Bob, if all the sound is, we have the boxes, right?
No speaker boxes.
No, but the sound is inside the big box.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So I think
so could we have fans back here?
I don't know. I don't think there'll be any gear there that would be in the way.
You want to have fun, you want loud, but you're in an area where you can't be loud. So it'll be different. It'll be a really interesting experience. When they're recording the show down there, maybe that's all they'll hear is the fans singing. Maybe that's better.
This is the best I've ever heard.
Great! During sound check, it was a little cold. You know, I was a bit concerned. I spent most of the afternoon down there playing my guitar just so that I can like get used to playing in the cold in case the temperature really dropped. When it's really, really cold, my fingers don't do what they're supposed to do. And then they kind of like do whatever they want to, and I find myself watching my fingers just trying to play. I want to hear it loud.
It sounds so weird. I think for us it's going to be similar to when we play in the studio. You know, we've got what they call the cans, our headphones. We're sitting there and rocking out, and if you're observing from an outside perspective, people see us having a great time, but they don't hear what we're hearing. So
you want these instead?
It'll be surreal, if anything.
Here, now play.
Oh, yeah!
Everything went well. The band attested to that. The sound impact was null. And yet from this remote area, the concert would reach the entire world at full power through the internet. Metallica's music would have its usual impact without damaging the ecosystem. The only expectation was for Antarctica to continue caring for everyone present. There were only a few hours left to make history.
I'm looking forward to playing in this dome. You know, I imagine it would be kind of like playing in a large tent or maybe an igloo. I like to think of the igloo concept. You know, we can kind of visualize and think of ourselves as Eskimos rocking out in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by ice and great friends.
To another glorious day in Antarctica. Okay, you swing your legs towards the ocean, that's it, and you give me your life jackets, please.
It is an environment that nobody has played in before, neither the band, nor the crew, nor the audience. So I think there'll be a sense of community and a sense of kind of we're sharing a moment together that none of us have ever had before, that nobody's ever had before, and then probably no people will ever have again. So I think everybody who's there, including the band, will feel very special, and it'll be a special hour.
Hay una cosa que a mí particularmente me pone muy contento, que es hemos recibido visitas de bases antárticas aledañas.
First time, real concerts happening here. Such a great band. Yeah, of course, for this experience, we cannot miss it.
Y ahora, bueno, es el momento. Llegó la cereza del pastel.
Aquí estoy.
Hasta el 20 más o menos hay que hacer.
All the circumstances are completely different to what we're used to. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for us.
Esto está pasando realmente, ¿eh?
Welcome. Thank you, bro. It's uncharted territory. You know, this is something that we've not done with our fans.
¿Y ahí tan cerca? No.
So, you know, everybody's going to be sitting there headbanging with headphones and headsets and ear monitors, and, you know, let's see how it goes.
Ahora lo que hacemos es, el artista siempre te da la lista, te da el setlist 2 minutos antes de empezar un show. No sé por qué, porque si el show fuera a cambiar por eso, pero nos acaban de dar la lista, vamos a recordar bien cómo empieza Creeping Dead. Duele un poquito el estómago. Un poquito.
Pero ya nada. El panel está acá, la foto.
The big day arrived. The impossible was becoming possible. The madness was reaching its goal. Over 20,000 hours of preparation, more than 700 days, over 200 people involved, more than 6,000 miles traveled, dozens of problems, several storms, many degrees below zero. At last, to everyone's surprise, even the sun made its appearance. All systems ready. A lucky few in Antarctica and millions of people from their homes were about to witness an unprecedented concert. On December 8th, 2013, Metallica performed in the middle of nowhere.
Isn't this crazy? Crazy, but in an absolutely brilliant and beautiful way, right? Thank you all for coming here to make this the most memorable concert in Metallica history, I must say. A lot of amazing people have come together to make a beautiful thing like this happen. I probably won't remember every single one of them, but obviously the fans that have done some crazy things, shown their dedication and insanity for Metallica, and dedicated their time and effort to want to come here and spend this time with us. Thank you, guys. Q Prime, Mr. Tony DiCiaccio, God bless you, my brother. You made this dream happen for the four of us. Obviously, the Ortelius, the boat that we're all on, having an awesome time. That is our hotel up here, down here in Antarctica. And obviously Coca-Cola, Musica Zero, put up the funds to get this all happening. Thank you so much to them. And this is history in the making. Beautiful. Thank you. Seek and destroy!
It won't sink in until we're at home, maybe. Thinking, it's just so bizarre. It's bizarre, it's surreal. I still don't understand how they did this, you know, getting the logistics together. Pretty remarkable. Even to sit on this boat for 62 hours through 30, foot swells to get here so we can play in front of some penguins and some fans.
I was not prepared for, I think, a combination of the vastness of this and also the sense of intimacy that's come from, the people and sharing this with so many people who've never had this experience either. So on both, like, big scale and small scale, it's worked really well, and then it's been truly, truly insane.
It's been breathtaking. It's been so beautiful and so amazing, and it's really great. I love it here. You know, I don't really want to leave here, to be honest. It feels really, really great being here, and I like the isolation too. Being isolated from the rest of the world.
We like challenges. This could be considered one of the ultimate challenges. What do you do after this? You know, you play the moon, you play on top of a volcano. Who knows?
Having dreams is important. Having mentors, having idols, having goals in life, you know, it's important to have, and that's why we keep going. We keep going, and we'll find out what the next one is.
Keep it coming! Did you have fun here? So did we. We brought life to a very barren place right now. We're celebrating life, baby! Hey, 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 hey. Metallica loves Antarctica! Let's help preserve this place, okay?